to another edition of AC 24/7. I'm Lamar Baldwin. At least 35 people were arrested after a violent protest at the planned site for Atlanta police training facility dubbed Cop City. Video released by Atlanta Police Department shows a construction vehicle on fire and at least 3 more smaller fires. Rocks were thrown at police officers on the scene during the start of what protesters are calling a week-long mass mobilization. DeKalb County prosecutors say the violent agitators will face appropriate charges for their actions. Protesters believe the new 85-acre law enforcement facility will harm the environment and cultivate police militarization. This past weekend, civil rights activists joined the president in marking the 58th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. That's the landmark voting rights march from Selma to Montgomery. Hundreds of peaceful protesters led by the late John Lewis were beaten by the state troopers as they marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma. It was the start of what was supposed to be a 54-mile walk to the state capitol in Montgomery. President Biden helped commemorate the anniversary, urging Congress to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act.
Selma is a reckoning. The right to vote, to have your vote counted, is the threshold of democracy and liberty. With it, anything's possible. Without it, without that right, nothing is possible. And this fundamental right remains under assault. The conservative Supreme Court has gutted the Voting Rights Act over the years.
The John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom Act are stalled in Congress. Meantime, some states have enacted dozens of anti-voting laws since the 2020 presidential election. Nearly 50,000 people marched across the Sydney Harbour Bridge in Australia to commemorate the final day of the World Pride Festival. Sydney is the first city in the Southern Hemisphere to host the international festival since its origin 23 years ago. The festival coincided with the 5th anniversary of marriage equality legislation in Australia. Parts of California are digging out of a massive storm. Back-to-back storms slammed the mountain areas of Southern California. The California dot removed over 1.6 million liquid gallons of snow in the Twin Peaks area. Some residents are still stuck inside of their snowed-in homes. Some areas have already seen more than 30 inches of snow. Chris Rock opened up about the Will Smith Oscar snap during his Netflix live stand-up over the weekend. Rock has mostly kept quiet about the infamous slap at the 2022 Academy Awards. In the live Netflix stream, Rock joked, "Anybody who says words hurt has never been punched in the face." Rock also insinuated the slap was more about the Smiths' relationship and less about his joke. Rock's stand-up made history as it's the platform's first ever live global streaming event. Thank you for joining us for another edition of AC 24/7. For more content that advocates for you, go to advocatechannel.com and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Lamar Baldwin.